Hello and welcome. My name is Alan. Pull your seat up, grab you something to drink. We've got something serious to talk about. I wanted to wait until Monday to make this video, but unfortunately, it isn't going to wait. The Supreme Court document leaked a while back showing they were intending to overturn Roe v. Wade. Well, it's officially been overturned, and is leading to problems and the potentiality of other laws being overturned. Roe v. Wade grants a pregnant woman the ability to have an abortion if she wants, or more importantly, needs one. After the overturn, many state laws went into effect, and many of them don't care if she needs one or not. They see the fetus as more important than the woman. And even if it would save her life, no, she has to have that baby. I'm sure some of them do take into consideration, but there's many of them that don't care. At least that's honestly the way it feels. This is an overturn of 50 years of precedent. 50 years Roe v. Wade had this precedent set in place. But because the right wing lunatics were so horny to have it removed, to overturn it, that's what we got. And this will lead to some severe issues. Number one, I could see it trying to overstep its bounds when it comes to Fourth Amendment. Number two, we've already seen some of the laws include mentions of bringing out-of-state doctors back, even if they go out of state to get their abortions, which honestly is a violation of the Interstate Commerce Clause and should not be something that is allowed to stand. Somehow, though, I don't think that matters to this court. Yeah, a lot of its of Roe v. Wade was also set into place by the Ninth Amendment, which basically states even if it's not an enumerated amendment or in the Constitution itself, doesn't mean it is automatically banned. But what you hear from some of these justices are that it was not mentioned in the Constitution. That's why the ruling was under the Ninth Amendment. They don't care about doing things right. They just want to do what they want to do. But this violation of the Ninth Amendment leads to other potential laws being at risk. We have laws such as Obergefell, which I believe was the equal marriage protection. Yeah, it guarantees same-sex couples equal marriage rights under the Due Process Clause and the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. And, you know, basically says they have the right to marry. Just because it's not strictly in the Constitution doesn't mean it's banned. And so again, they don't care. They're going Obergefell v. Hodges looks like a decision they may go after. Griswold v. Connecticut is another one that was decided by usage of the Ninth Amendment that is looking to be under threat. Griswold v. Connecticut, 1965, and protects the liberty of married couples to buy and use contraceptives without government restriction. And it's speculated that's another case under threat now with how they ruled on Roe v. Wade. Why these cases are speculated is because it was mentioned in the actual documents, the case decision. Another case in danger they're talking about is Lawrence v. Texas. And it basically ruled that sanctions of criminal punishment for those who commit sodomy are unconstitutional. So basically, those who commit butt sex, you know, like gay couples, could be under threat once more by the bigotry of the right wing. One they did not mention, but is under the same vein. I wonder why they didn't mention it, because Clarence Thomas is a black man married to a white woman. But Loving v. Virginia, which permitted interracial marriage. Now, this one was not listed, but it's under the same type of ruling. So you have to wonder, why did they not mention this one? Yeah, that's because Clarence Thomas is a black man married to a white woman. Just a bit of the hypocrisy on this court. But yeah, the way they've ruled here, in my eyes, is equivalent to the Dred Scott decision, which basically allowed slave owners to go into other states to capture their slaves because it is considered their property. And the Dred Scott case had to be overturned eventually because it was seen as such an egregious decision. Um, in other news, when we come to judicial issues, there was recently a court case saw before the Supreme Court in which it was ruled that the ability to enforce Miranda rights, which are the rights you read when you're arrested, you have the right to remain silent. You have the right to a lawyer. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, and on and on and on. Yeah. Certain they now say that suspects who are not warned about their right to remain silent cannot sue a police officer for damages under federal civil rights law, even if the evidence was used against them in their criminal trial. So essentially, they don't have to read you your Miranda rights anymore. They can just do what they do. We have went back years, decades with these decisions. This is a sad excuse for a Supreme Court. It's just devastated what had been precedent for so long, and that's what they usually use to judge laws is precedent. You know, it almost makes me sick to my stomach because I didn't want to vote for Clinton. But God knows it's because Trump pushed his little candidates through in his 4-year term. That the Congress, the Republican Congress, conspired with Trump to push these candidates through. And now they are essentially rewriting laws from a judicial standpoint instead of interpreting laws. Yeah, this is one of the worst Supreme Courts we've had since, who was that Chief Justice under the Dred Scott decision? I can't remember his name. But he was Chief Justice in the mid-1800s. Chief Justice for 20 plus years. I think it was almost 30 he was Chief Justice, but yeah. Well, let me look this up. I'll find his name and tell you here. Not current members. I want Chief Justices. There it is. Roger B. Taney. This is the worst Supreme Court since he was Chief Justice. And that was from March the 28th of 1836 to October the 12th, 1864. Yeah. And he would have been in longer, but he died while in office. Just over 28 years. But he made some of the worst decisions as Chief Justice. And this court has now reached that level. It's infuriating. It's disappointing. It's really infuriating, I'll tell you. Because I was trying to make a video earlier and I just worked myself into such a lather. I just bounced my own anger off further anger, and it just grew and grew. I had to take a break for a while. But yeah. This will be looked upon as a sad version of the Supreme Court. But I'm going to list some of the sources I have here in the description below the video. As always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. Someone tries to tell you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite the sources. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, later.